All right, ladies and gentlemen, remember when Madonna was younger and she had kind of like a, I'm not gonna say bitchy kind of persona, but she was very like her voice was very like sexy and she had like kind of like a I'm I'm the queen of the world kind of persona, and she had kind of like a take me as I am, and then there's no regrets here, and I'm in your face, and I'm gonna rebel, but I'm gonna leave a good message for people that like that kind of thing, and I'm I'm at the be all end all, and I'm just kind of like there, and you guys got to get used to it, and I'm really kind of I'm the boss queen, kind of thing. So she was like so good, and I'm sure the new generation, which I mean, there's people that are new generation, 18-year-olds that love her, and she's dating a 26-year-old even though she's 60. So, I mean, that says enough right there. But yes, so people that are new to her must be thinking, they may not see the past of her, right? Like they may not know what she was like in the past, but she was really kind of incredible. Like she was really really good. She was kind of like the kind of girl that you're like, holy, like if you watch, I mean, you have to see some of her videos, like even just some of her performing in concerts. She had like one concert, she had like the most beautiful ponytail. She had like a really deep voice, but in a sexy woman's voice. It was kind of sultry and raspy kind of thing. So she was so good, you know. She had a book. It was a sex book she had out. So I mean, you're thinking nowadays nobody would put a sex, like if they're a celebrity, who's gonna put a sex book out? Like nobody has a sex book, right? Like she was so crazy good, you know. So, and people like Miley Cyrus, do things that are similar, but like Madonna was the first to ever do these kinds of things. And Madonna did a really, really good job. Like it was phenomenal. Like you're thinking to yourself when you see it, you're like, holy, like I mean, these things that she did led like all the women that are out now that are doing sexy things. Like she led the way. Like she was pretty much the only one. Well, and Cher obviously was around too, but and Cher was very sexy too, but like it was Madonna that was doing the craziest things, like, and these are things that people would never do now, like, or maybe they would do now, but they wouldn't do them as good. Madonna was, and some of her posing, like, I'm not sure if you've seen some of her posing videos. She did a pose, I think it was like something like this or whatever. No, yeah, I think it was something like this, and it was like a really nice outfit. Like she actually had pasties or whatever, and her hair was perfect. Like it was really nice. Like it was so cool, and she was so pretty. She was so sexified and so sexy. And Madonna just does this normally. Like this is her. So it's kind of like, well, when we see people that do these things, sometimes we don't really see them as human. Well, obviously I see her as human because they look a lot like her, but I mean, we don't see them as human. Like she was so good, and it was incredible to watch. Like I was growing up with it. It was kind of nice. You got to see it all, and it was kind of nice to see somebody that was like so good. And it was totally not the everyday. Like somebody like Tiffany. Maybe she posed for some magazines that were a bit risque, like Playboy, obviously, but like when you see Madonna, like Madonna was like the be all end all. Like she was really really good, and like nobody looked like her. Like even in the '80s, like who's gonna last from the '80s till now and look that good? I think Kylie Minogue did, Cher did, but I mean like it's rare to see a performer that lasts that long, that looks amazing to this day. Like Madonna, if Madonna wanted to pull up a sexy look right now, she totally could. Like she would just be able to do it easily, even though she's 60. Yeah, and I don't consider 60 old by any means at all, but I mean, when you see someone like her, you're just like, holy, like it was crazy. Like she was so good, and you're just like, oh my god, like no way. But she was really nice to look at too. Like she was really pretty. Like she was like beyond pretty. And she always talked about herself being non-conventional. I think what she meant by that, I think she had the most conventional, pretty look, but pretty is non-conventional to her. I think because she's so pretty that nobody's like that, right? Like, it was so rare to see people like that, especially doing the things that she was doing. So I think that's what she meant by non-conventional. I don't think she meant anything else by it, but she was like, if you see the videos that she did, like, you have to look for certain pictures in certain videos. Like, it's kind of hidden because she was obviously the sex books that she sold was hidden. It was a hidden book, but I mean, and I mean you have to be over 18 to buy it, obviously, but I mean, like, unless you have it, you don't know it. I mean, I bought it, but yeah, unless you have it, you don't really know what you're gonna see. And you don't know how pretty she actually could be. Like, she was really, really pretty, like gorgeous, like the most sexy woman you've ever seen. So when you see it, when you see the book, you'll know what I mean. But until you see it, like, you might see some of her bad pictures too. Like, some people might be exposed to certain videos that weren't exactly glamorous. I think when she was a mother at first, she had some videos that weren't exactly like the most glamorous, or necessarily the not necessarily the most glamorous, but more like she had videos that were kind of like, well, they were like, she kind of looked like a frumpy mother in some of them. And some mothers look, obviously she's a very sexy mother, but she's a very good looking mother. But I mean, some of her videos, like, I think when she did get married, she totally toned it down. She had a baby, these are things that tone some women down, obviously. But Madonna could still do, like, she sang a song called Sex, and it was a really good video, and she looked really, really good. So she could pull that look on anytime she wants, and she does, but when when you're a woman and you get to be 60, Madonna is still doing the sexy things. She is a sex icon. But when you're 60, you're not going to be doing, the same things you were doing when you were 30 or 40 or whatever. So she still could do those things, and she does them still, because she's racy like that. Like, she'll perform that way still. She is the type of person that would perform that way. So I mean, but when you see her, you know what I mean when you see some of these videos. Like, I think I'm trying to think now. So she had some looks. Like, even if you do it, I'm sure people know about these things. 'Cause I'm sure it's obvious. Like, I'm knowing those people that know about those things probably don't even know about my channel, because my channel's not big yet. But I mean, if you were to see something like, if you were to search Madonna photos from the 1990s, or Madonna, Madonna, like, even if you do Madonna images on Google, right? Like, Madonna images or pictures, right? And you checked out the pictures, you would see what I mean. Like, and you'd have to look back in, like, the 1990s, or the erotica era. Like, the erotica era was so awesome. Like, that totally inspired me. Now, it was Lady Gaga who actually made me decide to be a celebrity. Lady Gaga was the one that made me decide, this is the persona I want to carry. She talks about how she got rejected many times, all this. So I'm going to go ahead and challenge myself and be like, this is my time to shine, because of Lady Gaga. But Madonna was truly the one that was like, I was really into Madonna when I was young. And I mean, Madonna was just so good, like, she was just so good, and she was way ahead of her game. Like, I mean, Miley Cyrus probably would have a sex book out, but it's rare to see celebrities that do even that kind of stuff. Like, that's meant mostly for other genres, right? Like, celebrities don't. I mean, celebrities do have sexy pictures. They take off their shirts or whatever as guys, and as girls, they totally look really good, and they pose for certain magazines. You know what I mean? But you don't see that. You don't really see that in celebritydom, where they do the risque things that she was doing. Like, she was doing the craziest things, and people don't see that in celebrities usually. Like, it's not like it's unheard of. And there's some celebrity videos that are so sexy that you're like, okay, this is really sexy, like, ultimately sexy. But I mean, when you see her doing what she did, and you're thinking, nobody was like that. Like, nobody at all, right? Like, nobody. So, anyway, thank you so much for watching. That's my review on the Madonna era, erotica era. All right, thank you. Bye now.